Hi everybody out there, and welcome to part 2 of my series on the Beatles and my vinyl record collection. From where we left off, we have the Beatles live at the Star Club in Hamburg, Germany, 1962. There's many knockoffs of this album. Different covers, different countries. This is the US one I just showed. Here's the historic first live recordings, the Beatles, Pickwick copy. Then we have the Beatles featuring Tony Sheridan on Pickwick. Love songs. The Beatles put out compilations of love songs, rock and roll songs, movie songs, all kinds of things. Here's a really good interview album, the Beatles tapes. It's an import, I think, from the UK. It's the David Wig interviews, where he interviews all 4 of the Beatles separately, different years, ranging from 69 to 73, I believe. Very good. Very highly recommended. Here's the Beatles' Real Music, the movie songs album, another knockoff. This isn't its original shrink wrap, which is cool because it has a little film strip there, and I don't know if you can see that. And it says, what's, official souvenir program inside, which is a little bells and whistles I like. This is the first volume of the Beatles anthology. This is volume 2, Beatles anthology. And I have volume 3, Beatles anthology 3. Let It Be Naked, the stripped down version of the original album as it was intended. Let me get into a few bootlegs I have here. One of them is Sweet Apple Tracks. This is an album of the Get Back sessions that became Let It Be. Double album set, one of the first ones I ever had back in the day. Here's more of the same material, Get Back it's called. The back cover is just plain white cardboard. Here's one called Super Tracks. The Beatles live in Any Town, which is basically a live compilation of a lot of concerts. Philadelphia, the Hollywood Bowl, and Japan all put together. And even in this day and age, even when we have so many things officially released, it's still interesting to have a nice compilation. Here's one called Top of the Pops, the Beatles, Highway Hi-Fi 111. Well, anyway, there it is. The Beatles in Hamburg. This is more of the Tony Sheridan material. Got a picture of the Beatles getting their haircuts from girls, including Pattie Boyd, who would become Mrs. George Harrison. Here's a nice one of the Let It Be sessions. Nice cover. Here's 5 Nights in the Judo Arena. It's one of the early versions of the Tokyo 66 shows. Here's an interview album called Beatle Talk, the way they were in '64 with Red Robinson, who interviews them. Okay. I have to start beefing up my British collection. I have With the Beatles, nice condition, stereo version. It's not the original. I have a nice version of Help from the UK. I had all these Beatle albums many times over, 20, 30 years ago, whatever it was, but I sold them off and now I'm trying to rebuild. Here's an album called Best of the Beatles. What it is Pete Best. It's actually the ex-drummer, former drummer. Best of the Beatles. A Pete Best story. Here's the Savage Young Beatles. And then we have some oddball stuff like the Beatles New World Electronic Chamber Ensemble. It's a nice cover anyway. It's got images from Yellow Submarine and kind of inspired. Here's an album called Beatles Songs. It has a lot of novelty records that the Beatles did. It's a very controversial cover for reasons I'd rather not get into at the moment. The Beatles Songbook Volume 2. I think I have the Beatles Songbook Volume 1 somewhere. I'm not sure. But I collect just about everything that there is. This is a nice quality copy. A Hard Day's Night. Instrumental versions of the motion picture score. George Martin and his orchestra. So George Martin's music. I like his instrumentals. There it is right there. So, here's Chaxfield plays the Beatles Songbook. Frank Chaxfield and his orchestra. Another instrumental album. And here's an odd album, the Baroque Beatles Book. It's a nice cover. Baroque Beatles. If you want. Well, for now, that pretty much finishes off my Beatles collection. I have a lot more to acquire. I'm just trying to get back into it after 25 years of selling or getting rid of my vinyl. So it was good being here for you guys, and I guess on the next installment of this, I'm going to start with the solo albums, beginning with John Lennon. So thanks a lot for watching, and please continue to watch.